I'm Catherine Fischer. I'm a certified hand-in-hand parenting instructor in Ann Arbor, Michigan in the United States. And I just want to take a couple minutes to tell you about how I've used listening partnerships as a tool to help me when I was getting really triggered by my son's behavior. At one point when he was in preschool, I started losing it with him a lot. I would become flooded with anger and frustration and yell at him and scare myself. And I couldn't seem to stop, even though I kept deciding that I wasn't going to do it again. And that felt sort of hopeless. But with some emergency listening time, so in the moment when I was starting to lose it, I actually set up with a friend who had a flexible schedule that my son could tell me to call her, or he could call her using the phone. And she would listen to me, and that worked really well. And he tried the system a few times on the first day, even when I wasn't losing it, to make sure it would work. And I called her, and then over the next few weeks, I would say he only had me call her 2 or 3 times, and it was just a minute or two on the phone, just to pour out how badly I was feeling, not talking about my son because he was there, but just usually just crying into the phone. And that shifted things for me. And I think part of it was not feeling so alone in that moment. And what I've learned since then, which is really interesting to me, is that neuroscience has discovered that when we have an unresolved, hurtful experience in our lives, it gets stored in a part of our brain where later, if something happens to remind us enough of that situation, we'll become flooded with the feelings from that experience. And there's no sense of time related to that experience, the way it's stored. And so it feels like the present moment. It doesn't feel like we're remembering when something really upset us. It feels like what is happening is the reason we're so upset. And that is why we can get so triggered by our children, and they're just their normal